So hello and welcome to J Designs. You join me underneath my truck. Today we're going to talk about rust and Toyota frames. I think this is something we're going to hear more and more about as these trucks continue to get older. What I want to do today is I want to show you how to check your truck for rust so you don't run into a situation like this. So that is a straight up hole through the frame. The nuts part about this is this was covered. It all kind of looked about like this until it looked like that. Did a bit of hard driving and then this kind of opened up. There was a little piece of metal here and then suddenly this crack just kind of totally opened up. You would normally have exhaust here kind of in the way or right behind the driver's side rear tire. Obviously the same thing could happen on the other side of the truck, but yeah, the reason why this stuff happens, I have a couple other videos on the channel if you want to look into it talking about the same issue, is these have multi-layered frames. So you can see there's a layer here and there's a layer here. The rust has actually pushed those two layers apart. It's pretty wild. So this is a compromised section of the frame. So anyways, let's get into how you would check your own frame for this. The first one is you can see a witness mark here. There's all kinds of plastic covers over the closed section of the frame here. And you can see the witness mark on this one here. I've pulled the plastic cover. If I had that plastic cover been off, I probably would have seen these frame layers starting to separate. You can see through this one, there's another hole on the opposite side there. So that's also where a plastic cover would be. So we're right behind the driver's side front tire here. I'd say pull as many of those plastic covers off as you can and check inside this frame rail. There are more plastic covers going this way towards the front of the truck that you can also pull and check as many spots as you can inside of your frame. So another little issue, or another place you can check. So moving down, we're still behind the driver's side tire. There are these bolt holes, and hopefully the camera is picking that up, but you can see there's another layer or where there would be bolts here, and you can see they're pushed up about 1/4 of an inch. Or what's that, about 5 millimeters, 4 millimeters, somewhere around there for my Australian viewers. You can see it's actually pushed the frame rail up away from this outside layer. I actually could see this, obviously, but I really didn't think anything of it, man, until that happened. But now the affected section on this thing is absolutely huge. So another good spot to check is you can actually go in through your cab mount. So this would be right behind the driver's side rear tire. You go up into your cab mount here with a flashlight, and there's actually a factory hole through the frame there, and you can shine the light inside of the frame rail, and then a plastic cover would be covering this rectangle. But that kind of allows you to go and see into your frame. You can look both ways kind of down the frame rail. You can obviously see how bad mine is from the inside. So here's that driver's side front tire again. You can also see here that the frame is open. You can shine a flashlight down this way and try to peer in through any of the holes that you can possibly look through just to check the inside of your frame, make sure nothing's rusted inside of there. Showing some of the locations of these plastic covers. So I have a very modified front end, but there's a little plug right here. There's a square one here. On the other side of the suspension, another square one right there. These are hard to see, but another one right there just forward of the cab mount. I would open up all of those and check them. This is on the good side of my frame, so I've yet to do it, but I'm gonna pull them and look at them. So now moving rearward in the truck, the frame transitions from the closed box section, which is hard to see into, to open C-channel. This is much easier to look at, which is a good thing. But here's what you need to look for. So this frame is layered. This is where this issue comes from. And hopefully you can see the way the frame kind of droops down right here. It droops down because the rust is actually pushing these layers apart. This bolt is actually holding the layers together. Kind of comical, but you want to look in here. This frame is starting to separate there, but I've seen it way worse than that, where this will be like down here, probably like 2 or 3 times further down than my frame is. If you see a truck with this, it's not like the end of the world. If your truck has it, again, it's not the end of the world. You just want to keep moving down your frame rail and checking all of this. You can also see there's layers on top of the C-channel here and on the bottom of the C-channel. It's a good idea to look right up in here and see if any of these layers are starting to delaminate from rust. And then obviously go all the way down the frame. It's a bit of a pain to get around the exhaust and the fuel tank, but definitely check all the way down on the frame too. So yep, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to make a quick video, hopefully helping someone out there, showing you how to check your frame, because I literally missed a recall for this truck. There was a deadline. I missed it by a couple of months. Hopefully it still extends to other owners, to Tacomas out there. And hopefully you don't miss your deadline and you'll be eligible for a complete frame replacement. For me, I actually have these steel things here. So what I'm gonna do with these frame plates is I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna cut out all of that bad rust as much as possible. And then we'll add those steel plates in there and maybe some other structure. And I'm gonna get this truck back into action. That will be on the channel very, very shortly. But for now, I'm gonna get to working on that right now. Thanks for watching.